Jesus. I just wanna be more like Jesus. More together and less in places. I think that's how it goes. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm really excited for the video I'm doing because this is gonna be kind of my introduction, or yeah, introduction is a good word, to BookTube, Christian BookTube. So basically all I'm going to be doing today is just basically introducing myself and yapping about all things books. So if that interests you, you should go ahead and like the video and subscribe since you're already in the area. And yeah, so I have my handy dandy chat GPT. Sorry, I'm really like trying to figure out where I want the camera to be at. I'm not gonna touch it for the rest. I'm not gonna touch. First question is very like silly. It's like, who are you and why did you start this BookTube channel? Hey, my name is Tiffany. The center of my channel is Jesus, and like everything that like else that like strings from me, if that makes sense. Like Jesus is the center of my life, and then there's everything around it, and books is one of those things that is around it. And this channel is just gonna be like navigating, reading as a Christian, pretty much, and the things that I like to read. And you know, I just recently put my testimony on here about how I don't read smut books anymore, and you know, things like that, because I really don't think there's a lot of girls, specifically in the BookTube space, that are Christian and like actually have boundaries when it comes to books. And I'm definitely gonna be one of those girls who have boundaries when it comes to books. And I just really want this to be a space where we can read books without compromising our relationship with the Lord, and reading books that also give God glory. It's just a hobby that I'm submitting to the Lord, and I just know how comforting it is to have a community of people who are walking the same walk that you're walking. And I'm making this channel so I can find my people who are also walking the same walk that I'm walking. Yeah, I feel like that was like a great way to put it, actually. Scratch everything else I just said. What genres do you love to read? Okay, I love this question. I would say my probably #1 genre is romantasy. I currently just finished Powerless yesterday, and I started Reckless yesterday too. I love, oh, don't break them. I absolutely adore this series so far. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I actually finished this book today. But I am actually loving these series. And yeah, so I would definitely put romantasy at the top of my favorite genres. But obviously romance by itself is one of my favorite genres, and fantasy by itself is also my favorite genre. But a genre that I really want to get more into is mystery books. I really want to read a good mystery book. I really want to have a book that has me on the edge of my seat, because I feel like an important question I should answer is like why I got into reading in the first place. And I've always loved a good story. I've always loved reading a good story. I just remember in school I didn't really get to read like I wanted to, because I had to read things that the teacher told me to read. And English was always my favorite class, because I always got to write and read. And those things always interested me. Like it interested me way more than everything else in school, if that made sense. And I always found myself getting the most meaning out of my English class or my literature class, because of the stories that were told. And I feel like it's so cool how you can tell a story and get this meaning out of this whole story. And I just love reading a good story, basically. And even when it comes to my YouTube channel and blogging, I love telling stories through my vlogs as well. Like, I'm just like a story girl. And the next question is about my favorite author. I would definitely say Francine Rivers, of course. She is an author who I'll always gravitate to. I actually have 2 books on my bookshelf that I really want to read by her that I haven't read yet. And the way she tells a good story and includes the gospel and includes these characters who have these Christian backgrounds, and it's very so creative. And this is why I love reading like Christian fiction books and things like that anyway, because I just think that's so incredibly creative, and that just really goes to how creative our maker is. Like that, I think it's amazing. So definitely Francine Rivers, but of course, like I just showed you guys, this is my favorite series right now, so I guess Lauren Roberts. My dream reading setup. Oh, like I should put a picture from Pinterest that whenever I find. That's my dream reading setup. I feel like every book girly wants to have her own little room library in her house. So whenever I have my future house, I definitely want just like, I want to call it like a hobby room, and it's gonna be a place where all my books are and all my other hobbies too, because I really want to start all my other hobbies. I want to learn how to crochet. I want to start playing on a Twitch, and there's so many things I want to do. And I want to start watercoloring. I want to start water painting. Wait, watercolor, water painting, I think that's the same thing. But yeah, so all that's gonna be the same thing. But realistically right now, my bed, it's just fine. Favorite Bible verse or devotional right now? My favorite devotional, I feel like when it comes to the Bible, my favorite book of the Bible and my favorite devotional is whatever one I'm currently reading. And right now I am reading The Awe of God. This one, it's so good. It really makes me think. And even this morning, the one that I read, it was really about praying and realizing like who we're actually praying to. It says, all things are possible if I only believe and approach God with holy fear. And it just really made me think about who God truly is. And if you actually like just think about it, who God is and who he's really, like all the things he really can do, then you would change the way you pray. It's like if you actually believe that like God will literally answer your prayers, it changes the way you pray, and it changes the way you move just in general, because God literally can do literally anything. Literally. But yeah, that's my favorite devotion right now, and my favorite Bible verse will always and forever be, well, I'm not gonna say always and forever because things change, but Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to the things of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. I love Romans. Is my favorite book of the Bible, and Romans 12:2 is my favorite verse in the Bible. Well, I really love the book of Romans because it really helped me understand everything about Christianity, I feel like, in general, and like what actually happened and why it needed to happen, and why I do the things that I do, and what it means. It just really helped me understand, because I feel like when you first become a Christian, you just kind of like, yeah, I think I know what's going on, but you really don't. You're just kind of like following blindly in a way. I'm not speaking for everybody else, but that's just kind of like how I was. And me reading Romans for myself and actually digging into that, like, literally changed my entire walk with God, understanding exactly what the cross truly meant and how it really literally did save my life. I could talk about the Bible all day, don't get me started. So I'm gonna share some of my favorite Christian books that I've read. I only picked 3. I limited myself to 3 because this could get really out of control. And this is one of my favorite. This book, I don't ever see anybody talking about this book. It's called Purity is Possible by Helen Thorne, and it's how to live free of the fantasy trap. And I made a video about having freedom from, you know, daydreaming and idolizing relationships and all these things that are part of my testimony. And this book really kind of broke down everything. And I just want to read you, I'm just going to read you the back. This is going to be me convincing you to go read this book. It says, women struggle with sexual fantasies, erotica, and porn, and it's the great unspoken issue of our age. If you are one of those women, you are not alone. You have been courageous by picking up this book, and no matter what you've done, a beautiful purity is still possible. 1 in 5 Christian women use pornography regularly. Many more read erotica literature or write their own sexual fantasies in their heads. If that's you or a friend, this book is for you. It will help you see why these things matter, thrill you about the fresh start Jesus offers, and show you how to enjoy reality instead of being trapped in fantasy. This book, I cannot talk enough about this book. I actually think I should reread it again. I think I've already read it twice. But this book really does speak volumes about how Jesus is literally freedom, and Jesus will give you exactly what you need when you need it, because this book came in my life exactly when I needed. So yeah. And then we have in His Image by Jen. Okay, there's like a glare because my window is over there. Jen Wilkin, In His Image. It really just talks about the 10 attributes of God and how we are called to reflect His character. Like, for example, there's a chapter called God Most Wise, and in the chapter she really breaks down how God is wise and how we are called as His children to reflect that. Why just blank? Reflect that attribute. Reflect that attribute into the world. And this, I remember I read this book in like church group, and it was so good, and I just remember I got so much out of it. And this is just another one of those books where I'm like, I think I should reread this, because as you can see, I marked this baby up. Like, I really got a lot out of it. And I just love, me personally, I just love learning about God and who He is. And the last book I'm going to mention is The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. And this really changed my whole perspective on Christian fiction, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was always scared to read Christian fiction books because it just sounds like, how does that work? how does that work? How do you write a Christian fiction book? And it's pretty thick, but it was so good. The fact that I got this book for $9, I personally hate having to sum up books because I always feel like I'm gonna spoil something. So I'm just gonna tell you guys to read it, and I'm just gonna tell you my favorite part about this book and why it really convinced me to start reading Christian fiction. It's because of how real and honest and true it was. And I feel like a lot of people actually don't like Christian fiction because of how real it is. Because when you think about Christian fiction, you want everything to be all like happy and roses and joy and I gave my life to Jesus, but this like shows like two people who are struggling. One of them's the guy's an unbeliever, and the girl, she is a believer, but she is struggling right now, and just how their paths cross, and just how everything just, you know, just goes the way God wants things to go. And there's just so many nice moments in here of like seeing him read the Bible for the first time, and it's just beautiful. Me personally, I think this book is beautiful, and you should definitely go and read it. But yeah, I think that's basically everything I wanted to really talk about in this video in particular, and just like a little mini intro to get to know me and my books that I read. And I think reading really changed my life in more ways than one. Obviously, reading the Bible has changed me in so many ways. I think I always say this to people, like the truest like testament to the Bible being true and real and alive is the fact that I have literally changed just by reading the Bible. Like I have literally changed just by reading the Bible. That is a testament to me of how like true and alive the Bible truly is to this day. And I told you guys how my love for reading came on, and I just really want to continue to read good books and read good stories. That's most important to me, is to read good books and good stories. And I hope you guys go on this journey with me. And there'll still be vlogs. I'll do my little podcast episode every Sunday. Probably not this Sunday though. This Sunday. And there will be vlogs, of course. I'll never stop vlogging. So that's pretty much what my channel is just going to be. Book videos, vlogs, babe talks, all types of things. That's pretty much who I am. And Jesus is at the center. And you should totally subscribe and come along on the journey. But if you want more like book recommendation things, I actually have made a book video before. I think it's like books for Christian women in their 20s. I think that's what I named it. But yeah, I made a whole YouTube video. So you should totally go watch that next. And you'll probably see some repeats because I recommend the same books. But there's a lot more books in that video. But yeah, I love you guys very much. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.